Hello everybody and welcome back to Elden Ring. We're still in the Mirkwood Cave and we're going to interact with the one canonical character that passes through every single From Software game, even Armored Core. And if you've played any of the From Software games, you will know and have mixed opinions about this guy. Ah, shit. Ah, come on. Oh my gosh, oh my god. Stop poisoning my shit, goddamn. Oh, I'm alive, I'm alive. Yeah, bells. Bells of Notre Dame. Yeesh. Okay. Survived that. Miraculously.
Well. Thought you'd just help yourself to a man's personal belongings, huh? You scheming little thief. The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin. All of it.
Ah, step into the mist. He buffs me. But yeah, this is what the Reduvia does. Long range bleed. Really? Just giving up like that?
Well, finally come round, have you? I knew you would. You're a lady of reason, through and through.
Yeah, bro, is this you? Oh, please don't hurt me. Yeah. This is Patches. Patches the hyena. He has other names in different games.
Ah, well, what do you know? Now, how did I get that wrong? I took you for a demi-human or some such. An innocent mistake, I assure you. Well, water under the bridge. Now we're squared up. How about we play nice from now on?
You look like Austin Butler's, what's his name? Vader Alpha from Dune.
A true lady of reason. Just what I like about you. I'm Patches. Patches the Untethered.
That's it, the Untethered.
Tarnished like you, only free-spirited. Nomadic, you might say. Only for now, those retired soldiers turned bandits. They're paying for my gruel. In exchange for my, well, showing them the road. But honestly, this looting racket is bloody terrifying.
Yeah, isn't it?
Frankly, I'm ready to wash my hands clean. Maybe set up a legitimate shop. So don't be a stranger. I'll be ready to wheel and deal come next time.
He's a character that fundamentally is against greed, in a sense. He punishes people who just are looking for items. So, like, going through his chest, in other games he'll kick you off a cliff for looking at the items down below. And he does that in this game too. But yeah, except for Dark Souls 2, which had a similar character. I forget his name off the top of my head. He is in every single From Software game, including Bloodborne, in which he's still Patches, but just the head on top of a large spider. Which is honestly one of the most fitting descriptions of him. I do love his questline though in Dark Souls 3. It is actually nice. In a sense, it's a bit sweet. And that did change my opinion of patches for the most part. Okay, I'm going to increase my dexterity a bit until I get to a point that I feel comfortable with it. But right now, I'm going to do a sweep of the Weeping Peninsula because that has a good amount of buffs for my healing and my mana flasks. Hello.
Hello? Is somebody there? Might I bend your ear for a moment, please? My name is Irina. I've escaped from Castle Morn, to the south. The servants there have rebelled. I can't be sure what it is. My eyesight's been weak since birth, you see. But I swear I heard frightful howling from all over. My good father secreted me out the castle, but decided himself to stay. He says it's his duty. I fear for Father's life. The servants are full wrath, filled with hatred for every one of us. They've since come for every one of the companions I escaped with. They haven't spared a soul. I fear it's no different at Castle Morn. Please, I implore you, would you mind taking a letter to my father? At the castle, my soul wishes that he escape, even if his honor should be the price. Please. I just want him to be safe.
I can do that for you.
Thank you. Then please, take this.
Right now, is she for me?
Deliver it to my father, who remains in the
I gotcha. I do like how instead of just the blanket British accent that they have going around in most of the other games, they do have more like, oh, this is Irish or slightly Scottish or even a bit Welsh in this game. I know fantasy in general tends to lean towards a lot of British accents, occasionally the Scottish or Irish, but this one does a better job at being more inclusive of other accents in the British Isles. I mean, a lot of the language of this game is based off of that from that area, that region. With some few exceptions, I do believe that there are names like, Shabriri, which is, if I'm not mistaken, a Hebrew figure. And in the DLC, we'll also interact with a location that gets its name, I believe, from older language. Oh my gosh, what's the name of it? You know, maybe I should not get into the scholarly bits of this while I am actively fighting a knight's cavalry. Mostly hitting the horse, and I don't want that. But I want what he has. He has that flail, and that is a good dexterity strike weapon. with bleeding. In hindsight, I could use the Morning Star, but this could be better in the long run for something that scales better with Dex if I want to do bleed damage. Oi. Okay, that was quite the reach there, buddy. Ah, booey. Just keeps running around the entire time. Ah, come on. I'm likely not going to make it out of this one. Oh boy. Yeah, run away. Come on. Get back here. Brother. Oh, I'm dead. Oh. Okay, there we go. Come on, let me crit. Can I backstab him? Yes. Okay, I actually make this one. Oh god. Come on. Nope. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yes. Oh, that scared me for a hot second. And Knight Rider Whale. Oof. I do not have the stats for this yet, but I will eventually. And he's not going to respawn. Seek 3 wise beasts. Turtles in this game are deemed wise. Here. And yeah, going back to what I was talking about with naming conventions in this world, I believe that one of the places in the DLC, a location that is very ancient to the world and even coming from a iteration of the world beforehand, Inir Ilim is, I believe, am I pronouncing it right, Samaro-Akkadian, which is one of the first languages, if not the first language of human civilization, at least from what people can study of it. I think it translates to Temple of the Lord of God. Then again, this is just from examining what is online and trying and having an interest in it, but not actually having studied the language. So take all of that with a grain of salt. All that to say, there is some like expansion from just the typical Old English, Celtic, Gaelic, Anglo-Saxon influences that typically are present in fantasy. There are some Hebrew, some even like the names of the Crucible Knights, Ordovis, Siluria, Devonia are based off of the geological periods of the world. So like the Ordovician, Silurian, and Devonian periods of the world, very, very old, are supposed to be captured in their names, which is a huge nod towards them being representative of a time where life was just a mesh, a melting pot, which is very similar to those eras, those geological periods of time. It's really cool. It shows that there was a lot of effort put into this world, and that there is such an emphasis on time. And as a nerd like me, I appreciate that effort. What I do not appreciate are these madness rats. Oi! No, no, no. Oh, God. Oof. I'm playing offline, so what these things are proccing on me, madness, that yellow bar, is not going to be relevant for my playthrough. Don't get me wrong, it's a good status effect, but only for PvP. There are so few enemies that are susceptible to madness in the base game that it's not really worth doing it. You're like investing into it. It's a faith-based component, which seems a bit weird for me in terms of what each stat seems to represent. I would typically put it under arcane, because arcane seems to be the connection to the occult, especially to the outer gods, which we will engage with some of the plot lines involving outer gods slightly. Yeah, like Shabriri, or if that is the actual name of the outer god. The Formless Mother, which we definitely will, because that is essentially what we are basing our build off of. Her blessings of blood. So I'm curious why Wisdom is the main modifier for Madness, but I guess it is more faith towards Shabriri in that case. It's interesting. Hello, Radagon. We won't see much of Radagon's influence, or like his presence in the game. But TLDR, he is the second husband to Marika, the goddess. And he had a wife beforehand named Renala, who we will eventually encounter, whom he left for Marika eventually. And will also interact with Renala and Radagon's children, 3 of them. Ronnie, Rykard, and Radon. If you cannot tell, there is very much that European, Western European phonetic lineage sort of trend of the R names at the very beginning. And then with Marika's children, with Radagon, you have all M names for a very specific reason that does make sense when you start to think about it. But you have Melania, Mikola, Mesmer eventually, and a lot of people also speculate Melania. Which in my opinion, that does get reinforced by the presence of Mesmer. But that is a theory that I am more inclined to believe, and it's not exactly canon, I believe, right now. And then you have the first Elden Lord, who was Marika's first husband. What's his name? Godfrey.
Well, there's been a... How can I help?
Hello. You have something I want. A lantern for the dark. I'm not going to be using shields, so I can get rid of most of them. I may want to keep a parrying shield, but that's about it.
Have a safe.
So collecting all those sacred tears now allows me to be able to drink from my crimson tear flask and regain almost all of my HP. It just increases how much I get back, which I'm going to be needing real soon, considering I don't think I'm going to be upgrading my health too much soon. Maybe only until after I've dealt with Godric. Ow. Shot me right in the ass. Ow. My left cheek. Ow. Damn. Rude. Uh-oh. Joke's on them. This is what I wanted from the start, because it takes me to a place where I can get a good talisman. Especially for early game. Once I get my health up to a certain point, it's going to become irrelevant, but for right now, while I do have a lower HP, this is going to be a good one. It's a slow replenishing of HP, so for a lot of dungeons where I don't get my flasks back, this is going to be what I need. On that loading screen, you can see Godfrey, that statue. That is the first Elden Lord. Such a badass. In that opening cutscene, he was the one that was, like, crucified, essentially, with a spear through his side. Very Jesus-esque, but also that was just, like, standard crucifixion procedure. Anyway, there's that element in there. Try again. If I tried to fight him, I would die. No question. But yeah, here we are in Lanedale. There's nothing I can do from here. But there's the Erd Tree in all of its glory. And that door we will eventually go to. I love how the game teases certain elements way early on. Look how far up we are, and we're not even as far as we are gonna go. Like, there's more. It's absolutely insane. But anyway, now that I can upgrade my I've upgraded my flasks. Time to finally take on the Stormfront Castle, Stormvale Castle. I'm gonna take a quick little detour over here, because there's an item I want to start collecting. I know some of you are gonna eventually say, "Oh, don't use summons, those are cheating." I don't really care too much, especially for this build. I need the heat taken off of me certain times, because I'm going to be fairly squishy. So I need the space to be able to do my thing. And summons help with that. They divert the attention from me. Just be glad I'm not going with the Mimic tier. I know some of you would just tear me a new one with that. Oh dang, it's raining wolves here. Oh, hello there. Oh, oops. Dang, I forget how low their bleed bar is.
Everyone's been grafted. Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me. They fought for me. Only to have their arms taken. Their legs taken. Even their heads taken. Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know? If you're grafted by the spider, you become a chrysalid. It's quite a lark when you think about it.
Oh, poor Roderica.
You're all on your own, are you? And heading to Stormvale Castle? Enticed by the one in the white mask, I suppose. Oh, you've come to be one with the spider? Well, that makes us two peas in a pod. But I don't have your courage. It's scary, you know, having your arms cut off, or legs, or your head. I want to be like everyone else, but I'm just too scared. I'm nothing but a craven.
Don't say that, you're more than that.
Oh, I know. Can you take this little one along with you? The poor thing deserves someone braver than myself, and the spirits look rather fondly upon you. It'll be glad of your company, I think, the little un.
Don't worry, Roderica. I will give you the absolute most vile spirit to attune eventually. So then he could be my little puppet. Guys, I'm left a mess of those wolves. Ugh. One more flask. And allocate that there. Yay. Okay. I think I'm going to go have my first legitimate boss battle now. Don't need to deal with these cretins. Ooh, but I am gonna go for you. Oh, yep. And that's where the extra health comes in. Thought I could get out in time, but I'm okay now. What's up, little dude? Ah, shit. Don't mind me. Oh, wait, I need the bell to summon. Ah. Hold on, I'm making a little detour. I know I can hear some of you saying, "Oh, you should upgrade your weapons before going in to fight the first boss." No. Look, I'm not gonna go into the cave and get the shards I need.
This way, Tarnished. May I have a word?
Whatever you say, pretty lady.
A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk, I surmise, is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent.
Lady, you have 2 faces and 4 arms. Whatever you say, yes.
Ah, as I had hoped. I was entrusted this for thee, by Torrent's former master.
You mean Melina? Ooh, wolves.
'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly, as they recall battles past. Now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest. Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the 2 fingers?
So what she gave me allows me to call on spirits that unlike everything else, when they died, they did not get absorbed by the Erdtree to then be reborn in some way. Because in this world, similar to like Dark Souls, there are kind of undead. There are ones that just come back from death, but most others will be absorbed by the Erdtree and then reborn in some capacity in another iteration. But because of the Black Knife assassins and their scheme, they killed one of the demigods with a piece of death and reintroduced it into the world. So things are dying, but things are also coming back as fully undead. And Rogier is one of the individuals who is living with death. He is engaging with death. It's all very interesting lore.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition. Someone must extinguish thy flame. Let it be Margit the Fell.
What I would give to have a voice acting gig like Margit. Thou touched. That would be a dream come true. I mean, dream come true would be having a story like Elden Ring from my own mind be made into something so expansive and well done. Voice acting in it would, in something like this, would also just be amazing.
Thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
Yeah, you know Miku. That's a warrior. Wait, no. Ooh, yes. Nice, Roger. There are more French names as well.
I shall remember thee, tarnished, smouldering with thy meager flame. Cower in fear of the night. The hands of the fell omen shall brook thee no quarter.
I love that line so much. The hands of the fellow shall brook thee no quarter.
Forgive me. I've been testing you to see whether or not grace truly does guide you, and whether you are fit to face the challenge that entails. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended.
My horse got my
There is
back.
but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hold, gathering place of tarnished champions, guided by grace.
Please bring me to the potluck.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
She says that phrase every now and again, and by the end it does become quite sentimental. And welcome to the Round Table Hall. We saw this guy in the intro.
Oh, this is a rare occasion. I can't remember the last time a new tarnished made their way to the round table. Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard.
Sure.
Allow me a word of advice. As your senior, you are a mere visitor to the round table. Nothing more. A house guest. Yet to earn their keep. Remember your place, newcomer.
I'm gonna kill almost every demigod, and then I'm gonna come back and kill your ass. Ye of little faith.
There's nothing left to say. Be at your leisure.
This weirdly stanced individual, trying to look so unassuming, is Gideon Ofnir the All-Knowing. But he doesn't know shit. Fun fact, the more demigods we kill, the more spells he knows by the end. That is the all-knowing bit. It's a cool mechanic. It kind of shows that he is watching us the entire time.
I see you've just arrived. Welcome to the Round Table Hold. I'm Corin, a man of the cloth. I teach incantations, the strength granted us by the Two Fingers, and explore the secrets of the Golden Order, so that one day, if a Tarnished of the Round Table Hold should become Elden Lord, I might counsel them, ensuring order regains its proper form, righting rule over men. By the way, do you still see it? The guidance of grace.
I do. And I also see the wheel around your neck.
You do? Wonderful news. Most Tarnished are blind to it these days. You are something of a rare breed.
I know, I'm Hatsune Miku.
What do you say? Care to learn an incantation of the Two Fingers?
I don't have any need for him
May
right
the
now.
Golden Order
But he will eventually be good. Just to learn a couple of spells, I believe.
You're a new face.
And you're an ugly face.
No matter. It's all the same. Lay out your arms.
Okay, so I do have some smithing stones for this one, but I need others for the Reduvia, the somber smithing stones. Oh, and I do have some runes to cash in for levels. Ugh. Okay. Once I get one more, I should be able to start using the flail, which has good strike damage, which I'm gonna need at some point. Before going into Stormvale Castle, I am going to collect my first death root. Hey, Roderica.
It was a pleasure. Oh, can you pass on a message for me? If you see the little chrysalids in Stormvale Castle, tell them I love them. And that, despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough. I'm finally getting the hang of this whole pain thing, you know?
You will not be joining their club if I have something to say about it. Oh. She was deceptively one of my favorite characters at my first time playing this game. It was nice to see her grow into herself. Get minced. I don't believe I'm going to be using swords in this build. Probably just claws and daggers. But it doesn't hurt to pick up the Uchikatana here. I don't have time for you. These guys just come back if I kill them. And I believe strike damage is the best way to deal with them. So I'm just gonna run through them. No harm, no foul. They're also just annoying, if I'm being honest. Plus I can run past them fairly easily. Say hello to my little friends. Dagger versus dagger. Who wins? So one of these, I was gonna say guys, but gals, they're all women, are the ones that killed Godwin. What, the first demigod to die and the first person to die since Destined Death was locked away. And that symbol is their knife, but also a symbol for Destined Death. It's really cool, but also very lore heavy. And in here is Deathroot. On the night of the dire plot, the stolen Rune of Death enabled the first death of a demigod. Later, the Rune of Death spread across the lands between through the underground roots of the great tree, sprouting in the form of Deathroot. So I can collect these and give it to the Beast Clergyman for certain low faith incantations that I'm going to be using, at least for the early parts of this build. And here are the bodies of individuals being reabsorbed into the Erdtree. It's rather fascinating, actually, at least to me, but I'm also a bit of a fantasy nerd. Okay, now that I have the items I want... Oh, I need... Okay, I can two-hand this. The good news is for weapons you are not proficient in strength with, there is no true, deficit to, playstyle with it, as long as you two-hand it within a certain amount of strength deficit. So I'm off by 1, so I can 100% two-hand it and not lose any of its benefit. Other ones like Dexterity, I believe, have certain aspects you are unable to access, and Intelligence and Faith just mean that you have the deficit to the damage it deals and are unable to use its special attacks. Fun fact, you can also run along the outskirts of the elevators for most of these caves, and you will find little goodies down there. And down here, in these mines, are where we can find some more somber stones and normal smithing stones. But these guys are really only susceptible to strike damage and some forms of elemental damage. So I need the flail to be able to actually hurt them. Also, two-handing the weapons is one of the only ways to hit them while not bouncing right back, unless you're weapon does a certain amount of, I think, stance damage or something. It's a bit complicated. I'm not entirely sure because that's a lot of like in-depth game mechanics that I don't know the numbers to. Also, if you are wanting to get into this game, do not feel like you can't look up certain things online. Sites like Fexture Life are insanely good for being able to learn the base mechanics of the game, find secrets that otherwise would take hours, and I mean hours of exploring, or even be able to just see what builds would be fun to do and how to make them work. Like, I think this is one game that it sometimes does get heightened by looking things up. And not for everything, of course, there is such merit to playing your first time without having the a guide pulled up on your screen for every second. But it's still good, especially if you are newer to From Software games or Souls-like games. It can be so discouraging to just try and raw dog your way through your first time. Having a guide there to understand, oh, these creatures are weak to strike damage. It's so helpful. And honestly, many times it's necessary. A lot of these games, you don't know what you don't know, and it does help so much to just have a place to reference, even once in a while, just to say, oh, this is where that item is, or this is how I can get a strike weapon that scales off of dex. That's amazing. I don't really like people that gatekeep this game, or, oh, this is the proper way to play the game. Use Mimic Tier, use Summons, use Rivers of Blood. I don't care. Play it however you want to play it. The right way to play Elden Ring is to have fun. And also to kick ass. That is the right way to play. And I'm gonna keep this because while I do not have any roars or breath attacks yet, all the dragon breath attacks are going to be heightened, I believe 10% by that medallion. Cool. Okay. And with that, I'm going to call this episode here. And in the next episode, we will be taking Stormvale Castle. Go fight Godric the Grafted. See you then. Bye.